The Silent Rise. The stars held no fear for the Galactic Conclave. For 12,000 years, their coalition of 27 sentient species had ruled the spiral arm with technological prowess that bordered on the divine. Their massive city ships drifted between solar systems like gleaming pearls on an invisible string. Their quantum communications network connected minds across vast distances in an instant. Their energy weapons could reshape planetary crusts on a whim. They had seen civilizations rise and fall. They had watched species evolve, develop crude technologies, and then either join their ranks or destroy themselves in nuclear fire or ecological collapse. The pattern was always the same: predictable, measurable, and ultimately controllable. Then they discovered Earth. Ambassador Vexella of the Meridian Hive adjusted her translucent wings as she stood before the Conclave Council. Her compound eyes reflected the holographic image of a small blue-green planet rotating slowly in the chamber's center. The atmospheric composition readings scrolled beside it: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor. A garden world teeming with life, one of countless thousands they had cataloged over millennia. The dominant species calls itself human, Vexilla reported, her translator converting her clicks and pheromone bursts into the standard conclave language. They have achieved rudimentary spaceflight, established a single inhabited satellite on their moon, and sent primitive probes to neighboring planets. They remain confined to their home system. High Counselor Tarek, a massive silicon-based entity whose crystalline body shimmered with internal light, leaned forward. "Another fledgling civilization," he rumbled, his voice like stones grinding together. "Are they ready for first contact protocols?" Vexilla's wings fluttered in the Meridian equivalent of laughter. "Hardly, High Counselor. They are." She paused, searching for the right word. "Peculiar. They have the technology to destroy their world several times over, but lack unified planetary governance. They fight wars over resources that our technology could synthesize in moments. They debate abstract concepts like freedom and rights, while their climate destabilizes beneath them." The hologram shifted to display images captured by stealth drones, humans in their cities, their vehicles, their conflicts. The council watched with the detached curiosity of scientists observing bacteria under a microscope. "Their development pattern is chaotic," continued Vexilla. "They advance rapidly in some technologies while remaining primitive in others. They are emotional, unpredictable, and potentially dangerous to themselves and others." "The standard recommendation, then?" asked Tarek. "Yes, High Counselor. Observation only. No contact until they either achieve unified planetary governance or destroy themselves. The odds favor the latter within the next century." And so the decision was made. Earth was classified as a Level 2 pre-contact civilization, interesting enough to study but too primitive and volatile to approach. Stealth observation posts were stationed in the Kuiper Belt, and occasional reports were filed away in the vast conclave archives. No one gave humanity a second thought. No one believed they would ever reach the stars in earnest. No one believed they mattered. That was their first mistake. Dr. Eliza Sharma stood in the underground bunker beneath the Atacama Desert, her dark eyes fixed on the alien technology spread across the laboratory table. The artifact had been recovered from the wreckage of what the public believed was a meteorite, but Eliza knew better. The object that had crashed in the Chilean desert 5 years ago was no natural formation. It was a damaged observation drone, and it had changed everything. "Any progress with the power source?" asked General Santos, his weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow emanating from the alien device. "We've replicated the quantum field generation," Eliza replied, not looking up from her work. "Our version is bulkier and less efficient, but it works. The principles are elegant. They use quantum entanglement in ways we never considered." The general nodded, his expression grim. "And the data storage? Partially decrypted. We've confirmed what we suspected. We're being watched, categorized, and dismissed." She finally looked up, her eyes hard. They think we're primitives, General. They think we'll destroy ourselves before we ever reach their level. General Santos placed a hand on her shoulder. Then we'll let them keep thinking that while we prepare. Project Shadowfall has been approved at the highest levels. All major powers are on board. Eliza raised an eyebrow. Even the Chinese and Russians. Even them. Nothing unites humanity like a common threat, or a common insult. He handed her a tablet. You've been appointed Chief Science Officer for the project. Top minds from every field, unlimited funding, and complete secrecy. She scanned the document, her mind already racing with possibilities. They've observed our normal communications channels for decades. We'll need a completely new approach, something they wouldn't expect from primitives like us. That's why we're going dark, replied Santos. As of next month, all advanced research goes underground. Literally. We'll maintain a surface-level technological presence that matches their expectations while our real work happens beyond their observation. Eliza nodded slowly, understanding dawning. A technological sleight of hand. Make them see what they expect to see. Exactly. We have one advantage, Doctor. They underestimate us. And we're going to leverage that until we're ready to show them exactly how wrong they are. 10 years passed. Then 20. Then 50. On the surface, Earth continued its predictable trajectory. Nations squabbled. Climate accords were signed and broken. Conventional rockets launched satellites and modest interplanetary missions. The Conclave observation posts recorded it all, filing reports that confirmed their initial assessment. Humans were clever but fatally flawed, trapped in cycles of conflict and short-sighted thinking. But beneath the surface, beneath the oceans, within hollowed mountains, in the shadowy craters of the far side of the moon, humanity was changing. The reverse-engineered quantum technology from the alien drone had been just the beginning. Once scientists understood the fundamental principles, innovations exploded across every field. Gravity manipulation, matter synthesis, energy generation orders of magnitude beyond fossil fuels or nuclear fission, and most importantly, propulsion systems that could bend space-time itself. Admiral Helena Chen stood on the observation deck of the ESS Nightshade, Earth's first true interstellar vessel. At 52, she had spent half her life in the Shadowfall project, rising from a brilliant young engineer to commander of humanity's secret fleet. Beyond the reinforced viewports, the dark side of Jupiter loomed, its massive storms visible even from their hiding place among the gas giant's outer moons. Final systems check complete, Admiral, reported Commander Okafor, her executive officer. All 23 ships report ready status. Ghost protocol is active across the fleet. Helena nodded, studying the tactical display. The Ghost protocol was their greatest achievement, a combination of advanced stealth technology and quantum field manipulation that rendered their ships virtually undetectable to Conclave sensors. They could move through space like shadows, observing without being observed. And our first target? She asked, though she already knew the answer. Observation Post Theta, replied Okafor. Located in the Kuiper Belt, minimal crew of 6 Conclave scientists. Standard rotation cycle means their next supply ship isn't due for another 40 days. Helena took a deep breath. This is the point of no return, Commander. Once we move against even a small Conclave outpost, we're committed. The Council of Nations was unanimous. Admiral, we've spent decades preparing while they've watched us like we're bacteria in a petri dish. It's time they learned that the experiment has outgrown the laboratory. Helena couldn't help but smile at the metaphor. She had reviewed the Conclave reports on humanity, translated from the data cores of 3 more observation drones they'd managed to capture over the years. The clinical dismissal of human potential had first enraged her, then strengthened her resolve. Signal the fleet, she ordered, her voice calm but firm. Operation First Light begins in 30 minutes. Remember, this is not about destruction. It's about sending a message. No casualties unless absolutely necessary. As the Nightshade and its sister ships slipped away from Jupiter's shadow, their quantum drives leaving no trace in normal space, Helena thought about the reports that would soon reach the conclave. For the first time in 12,000 years, one of their observation posts would simply vanish. No distress signal, no debris field, no explanation, just silence, and in that silence, the first whisper of humanity's true potential. High Counselor Tarek had not expected to discuss Earth again in his lifetime. The small blue planet had been classified, catalogued, and effectively forgotten. One of thousands of developing worlds that might someday join the galactic community or might destroy itself trying. Yet here he was, 500 Earth years after that initial assessment, listening to an increasingly disturbing report. Observation Post Theta has gone silent, reported Security Director Morvai, a tall, spindly being whose species communicated through modulated electrical fields. No emergency beacon, no routine transmissions, no quantum signatures. When the supply ship arrived, they found nothing, not even orbital debris. Equipment failure, suggested one council member. Impossible, replied Morvai. Our redundancy protocols. Asteroid collision, interrupted another. The probability is infinitesimal, and it wouldn't explain the complete absence of debris. Tarek's crystalline form pulsed with troubled light. When did this occur? Approximately 70 rotations ago. We dispatched a security vessel to investigate further. And their findings. Morvai's electrical field fluctuated in the equivalent of a nervous swallow. The security vessel has also gone silent. A murmur ran through the chamber. 2 conclave installations disappearing without explanation was beyond coincidence. There's more, continued Morvai. We've lost contact with 3 mining outposts in the Vega sector and a research station in the Capella system. All within the last 30 rotations, all without warning or distress signals. Are we under attack? Demanded a council member, their bioluminescent appendages flashing with alarm. Could it be the Voidborn returning? We have no evidence of Voidborn activity in 10,000 years. Tarek reminded them, though the mention of the ancient enemy sent a vibration of fear through his crystalline structure. What about the primitive civilizations in those sectors? Could any of them have developed interstellar capabilities without our knowledge? Morvai displayed a holographic map of the affected sectors. There are 17 Level 2 or Level 3 civilizations within those regions. We have recent observation data on 15 of them, confirming their pre-interstellar status. And the other 2. One is the Silicon Collective on Proxima Centauri b. They entered hibernation phase last cycle. The other, Morvai hesitated. The other, prompted Tarek. Earth. The chamber went silent. Impossible, said one council member finally. We've been monitoring their development. They've only recently established a permanent base on their neighboring planet. Their propulsion technology is chemical-based. They have no unified government. They're centuries from achieving interstellar flight. Vexella, who had presented the original Earth assessment centuries ago and now served as Sena Sociological Director, fluttered her now aging wings thoughtfully. Unless, she said slowly, they knew we were watching. All eyes turned to her. Explain, demanded Tarek. Humans are adaptable and deceptive when necessary. If they somehow detected our observation posts, they might have deliberately maintained a facade of primitive technology while developing something more advanced and secret. A species-wide deception. For centuries. Preposterous, exclaimed a council member. Is it? Countered Vexala. We based our assessment on observed behaviors and technologies. But what if what we observed was only what they wanted us to see? High Counselor Tarek's crystalline body darkened with concern. Director Morvai, dispatch a full battle group to the Sol system immediately. I want visual confirmation of Earth's current technological status and increased security across all conclave installations. If, and I stress if, humans have somehow achieved interstellar capabilities, we need to know exactly what we're dealing with. As the council session ended, Vexella approached Tarek privately. High Counselor, If humans are responsible for these disappearances, we must consider the implications carefully. We dismissed them as primitive and unworthy of contact. If they've advanced beyond our expectations and now perceive us as hostile. Tarek finished her thought. Then we may have created the very enemy we feared they would become. The silence that followed was deafening. A silence that, unknown to them, was spreading across conclave space as human ships moved like ghosts in the darkness, watching, learning, and preparing for the moment when humanity would finally step into the light. And when that moment came, the stars themselves would seem to vanish beneath the shadow of Earth's vengeance. When stars vanish, the Galactic Conclave Emergency Summit was unlike anything seen in living memory. Representatives from all 27 member species had been summoned to Nexus Prime, the artificial ringworld that served as the Coalition's capital. Security vessels formed a defensive perimeter around the system, their weapons charged and shields at maximum power. Fear had come to the masters of the galaxy. In the Grand Chamber, holographic displays showed the latest intelligence: 12 observation posts, 4 research stations, 3 mining colonies, and 7 security vessels, all vanished without trace over the past year. No debris fields, no distress signals, simply gone, as if erased from existence. High Counselor Tarek's crystalline form pulsed with agitated light as he addressed the assembly. The battle group dispatched to the Sol system has confirmed our worst suspicions, he announced, his voice resonating through the chamber. Earth has undergone a technological revolution beyond anything we anticipated. The hologram shifted to display surveillance footage. Massive construction facilities hidden beneath Earth's oceans, advanced manufacturing centers buried within mountains, and most disturbing of all, a network of artificial caverns on the dark side of their moon housing what appeared to be shipyards. These images were captured at extreme range, continued Tarek. The battle group commander deemed it prudent not to approach closer as our stealth systems detected unusual sensor activity throughout the system. It seems humans have developed detection capabilities that rival our own. Xenosociological Director Vexela moved forward, her once vibrant wings now faded with age, but still commanding respect. We have gravely miscalculated, she admitted. 5 centuries ago, I recommended Earth's classification as a Level 2 pre-contact civilization. I believed, as did we all, that their internal conflicts would prevent unified advancement. Instead, it appears our presence, our observation, provided the catalyst for unprecedented cooperation. You mean they knew we were watching? Asked the council member, incredulity in their voice. We can only speculate, but evidence suggests they detected at least some of our observation drones. Rather than announcing this discovery, they kept it secret and began preparing. For what? We cannot yet say. Security Director Morvay's electrical field crackled with tension. The pattern of disappearances suggests a methodical probing of our defenses and infrastructure. They are testing us, learning about us, using stealth technology that must be at least equal to our own. Impossible, exclaimed a Silicon-based council member. No Level 2 civilization could advance so quickly. And yet, replied Vexala calmly, the evidence is before us. The debate raged for hours. Some council members advocated immediate military action against Earth, a preemptive strike to eliminate the potential threat. Others called for diplomatic overtures, suggesting that reconciliation might still be possible. A few voiced the heretical thought that perhaps the conclave had been wrong to dismiss humanity in the first place. The session was interrupted by an aide rushing into the chamber, panic evident in their movements. High Counselor, they gasped, we've lost contact with the battle group at Sol. Before Tarek could respond, every communication device in the chamber activated simultaneously. Displays flickered, holographic projectors reset, and a single image appeared before the stunned council. Earth, a simple blue-green sphere rotating slowly against the blackness of space. Then the image pulled back, revealing more, thousands more. Ships, sleek, dark vessels of human design, arranged in a perfect sphere around Nexus Prime. The defensive perimeter of Conclave security vessels was nowhere to be seen. A voice spoke, translated instantly into all Conclave languages. "Greetings from Earth. I am Admiral Helena Chen of the Earth Strategic Forces. We apologize for the theatrics, but after centuries of being observed without consent, we thought it only fair to return the favor." The council chamber erupted in chaos. Security protocols activated, emergency barriers slammed into place, and evacuation alarms blared. Through it all, Admiral Chen's voice continued, calm and measured. "Please remain calm. If we had wished to attack, we could have done so without announcing our presence. Instead, we are here to open diplomatic relations, as equals, not as specimens under your microscope." High Counselor Tarek rose to his full height, his crystalline body emanating the deep blue of formal authority. "How did you penetrate our defenses?" he demanded. "Where is our battle group?" "Your vessels are safe," replied Chen. "They have been temporarily disabled and moved to a secure location. As for your defenses, we've had centuries to study your technology. While you watched us fight our petty wars on Earth's surface, we were reverse engineering your observation drones beneath it." On the holographic display, the image shifted again, showing the Earth fleet in greater detail. The ships were unlike anything the Conclave had encountered. No visible propulsion systems, no conventional weapon mounts, their hulls composed of a material that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "We call it ghost technology," explained Chen, as if reading their thoughts. "Quantum field manipulation that allows us to move unseen through space, to absorb energy rather than deflect it, and to shift between dimensions when necessary. Your scientists would find it fascinating, as we found your technology when we first discovered we were being watched." Vexilla moved forward, wings fluttering in a complex pattern that indicated formal diplomatic address. "Admiral Chen, I am Sino-Sociological Director Vexilla. 500 of your years ago, I recommended against contact with Earth. It seems I was profoundly mistaken. On behalf of the Conclave, I extend." "With respect, Director," interrupted Chen, "we are not here to receive your belated welcome. We are here to establish the terms of our relationship moving forward." The Admiral's image now appeared alongside the fleet display, a human female of late middle age, her dark hair streaked with silver, her posture military straight, her eyes sharp with intelligence and determination. For centuries, the Conclave has observed developing civilizations, judging them worthy or unworthy of contact based on your own criteria. You have appointed yourselves the gatekeepers of the galaxy, determining which species may join your community and which must remain isolated. Chen's expression hardened slightly. Earth was judged and found wanting. Too primitive, too aggressive, too divided. We were expected to either destroy ourselves or conform to your expectations of proper development. We chose a third path. The holographic display shifted again, this time showing the locations of all the missing Conclave installations, each one surrounded by a small contingent of Earth vessels. "Your missing outposts and ships have not been destroyed," continued Chen. "They've been relocated. Their crews are unharmed and well treated. Consider them guests rather than prisoners, much as we considered ourselves subjects of your observation for all these years." High Counselor Tarek's crystalline structure darkened to a deep indigo, a sign of restrained anger among his kind. "This is an act of war, Admiral," he rumbled. "The Conclave has maintained peace in this galaxy for 12,000 years. We have faced and defeated threats far greater than humanity." Chen smiled, the expression not reaching her eyes. "Is it war to turn a mirror to one's observer? We have not fired a single shot, High Counselor. We have not harmed a single being. We have simply made ourselves known in a way you could not ignore." She leaned forward slightly. "As for threats you faced, yes, we know about the Voidborn. We extracted that information from your archives. We know they nearly destroyed the Conclave 10 millennia ago. We know you fear their return. Perhaps instead of viewing us as a new threat, you might consider us potential allies against the old one." A murmur ran through the council chamber. The Voidborn were seldom mentioned in open discourse, a primal fear that lingered in the collective memory of all conclave species. "What do you want?" asked Tarek finally. "Recognition," replied Chen simply. "Respect. A seat at the table you've denied us, and assurances that no other developing civilization will be subjected to the same silent judgment we endured." The negotiations lasted 3 days. Throughout, the Earth fleet maintained its position around Nexus Prime, a constant reminder of the new balance of power. Some council members argued privately for gathering reinforcements, for launching a counter-offensive once the humans lowered their guard. But deep scans revealed the uncomfortable truth. The ships surrounding them represented only a fraction of Earth's forces. Similar fleets had been detected in 12 other key conclave systems. Humanity had not just caught up technologically. In some areas, they had surpassed their unwitting teachers. On the 4th day, Admiral Helena Chen stood in the council chamber, now as an invited guest rather than a holographic intruder. The Concord of Seoul, as the agreement was being called, lay displayed before her, 1,000 pages of diplomatic protocols, technological exchange provisions, and security arrangements. "You understand," said High Counselor Tarek, "that many within the conclave will view this as capitulation to threats." Chen nodded. "And many on Earth will view it as too lenient toward those who dismissed our potential. Leadership often means disappointing extremists on both sides." Vexella, who had been instrumental in crafting the agreement, fluttered her wings in approval. "I have spent my career studying the development patterns of sentient species, Admiral. Never have I been so thoroughly surprised. It is a humbling experience." "That," replied Chen with a genuine smile, "is something humans understand well. Our history is filled with empires that underestimated primitive opponents. The Romans never expected the Germanic tribes to adopt their tactics. European colonizers never expected their subjects to use their own technologies against them. We've learned that lesson repeatedly." She gestured to the document. "This Concord ensures we break that cycle. No species categorized as developing will be observed without their knowledge. No civilization will be denied contact based solely on their political structures, and all will have the opportunity to join the galactic community when they achieve spaceflight, regardless of whether they match conclave expectations. A fundamental change to how we have operated for 12 millennia," noted Tarek. "Perhaps such change was overdue," suggested Vexala. "Our certainty in our own superiority nearly brought us to conflict with a species that could have been our greatest ally." Chen's expression grew serious. "Speaking of allies, the Voidborn, our intelligence suggests their dormancy may be ending. If they return, neither humanity nor the Conclave can stand alone." "You've been busy during your observation of us," remarked Tarek, a hint of grudging respect in his tone. "When you discover you're not alone in the universe, and that the first aliens to notice you decided you weren't worth talking to," replied Chen dryly, "you tend to become motivated." As the formal signing ceremony began, Admiral Chen thought about the long, secret journey that had brought humanity to this moment. The reverse-engineered observation drone that had crashed in Chile. The global conspiracy of silence as nations realized they were being watched. The centuries of hidden development while maintaining a carefully crafted appearance of typical advancement on the surface. Project Shadowfall had been conceived as humanity's insurance policy, a way to ensure Earth would never be vulnerable to superior alien technology. No one had expected it to evolve into the greatest technological leap in human history, or to place Earth suddenly among the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. High Counselor Tarek pressed his crystalline appendage to the document, leaving the unique energy signature that constituted his species' version of a signature. He then passed it to Admiral Chen, who signed with an old-fashioned fountain pen, a deliberate reminder of humanity's ability to blend ancient traditions with futuristic capabilities. "There is a saying among my people," she said as she completed her signature. "Never judge a book by its cover. It means appearances can be deceiving." "We have learned that lesson at considerable cost," admitted Tarek. though I suspect we haven't seen humanity's full capabilities even now. Chen smiled enigmatically. As you shouldn't have seen our fleet until it surrounded your capital. There are always more pages in the book, High Counselor. As the ceremony concluded, a communication reached Chen from the Nightshade, still holding position in the defensive perimeter. The quantum entanglement message was brief but significant. Deep space monitoring stations had detected energy signatures, matching historical records of voidborne activity in the galactic halo. The ancient enemy was stirring, just as their intelligence had suggested. The timing was almost poetic. As one conflict ended, the shadow of another loomed. But this time, humans would not face the darkness alone, nor would they be dismissed as inconsequential. The stars had vanished beneath the shadow of Earth's fleet once. Perhaps soon, they would shine brighter than ever under the protection of a new alliance, one forged not through conquest, but through the most human of qualities. The stubborn refusal to remain within the limitations others had defined for them. Admiral Helena Chen looked out at the assembled representatives of 27 alien species and allowed herself a moment of pride. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not as supplicants, but as equals. Not as primitives to be studied, but as a force to be reckoned with. And the galaxy would never be the same again.